Go to the book of Job. The book of Job. We're going to start at chapter 35, verse 1. And Elihu said, do you think this is just? You say I am right, not God. Yet you ask him, what profit is it to me? And what do I gain by not sinning? I would like to reply to you and to your friends with you. Look at the heavens and see. Gaze at the clouds so high above you. If you sin, how does that affect him? If your sins are many, what does that do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give to him? But what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness only affects humans like yourself, and your righteousness only other people. You know, the book of Job is such a telltale sign of the way the kingdom works between the spiritual and the earthly. The way the spirit infiltrates the earthly kingdom, the way they function together. And from the beginning of the book of Job, God lays this out, and he's trying to paint a picture of the way things are the way they are. Why things happen the way they happen. The why things can be explained why good things happen to bad people. Why bad things happen to good people. Why certain people are blessed, certain people are not. Why certain things seem to just not go the man or woman God's way when they've done everything right. The book of Job kicks off introducing us to a man named Job. He was a very well-to-do man. He had everything that a man of his time would want. He had 7 young men, 7 heirs. So if he lost an heir, he had another one. That was a big thing back then. They wanted to carry on the family name. And a big family was what they wanted. And he had 7 young men who was going to carry on the name. He also had 3 daughters. He had a wife who was still there, loving at this time. He had 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 ox, 500 donkeys. So he had numerous, or a lot, of servants. This guy was blessed for his time. I mean, he was the epitome of what everybody wanted. I mean, if you said, I want something, this day I want to be the Rockefeller or Trump, but today, at this time, I want to be like Job. I want what Job had. And it tells us this, that he was a righteous man before God. He was upright. He walked righteous before God. And when it says this, it's saying that he was in good standing with God, that he made sure that he done what was in God's eyes right. He walked and talked with God, and he was the man that would just seek God. And he even went as far to plead. And his kids would gather together and put on banquets for birthdays and celebrate one another and have good times. And he was worried that they may have sinned or cursed God through the night. And so the first thing after one of their celebrations, the first thing he would do for them, he'd get up and make an offering before God. The very first thing he done the next morning. Why? It's the same thing we've been talking about for weeks, pleading the blood. We have the blood of Christ to plead over our families. He was interceding for his family. He said, I can't walk their walk, I can't talk their talk, I can't do, but what I will do is intercede to make sure the enemy don't harm them. But then it paints us a picture of how the enemy infiltrates. See, because in it, the enemy does exactly what the enemy does. He goes and stands before God. And he does one thing. He's what you call the accuser of the brethren. His job is to accuse each and every one of us of our wrongdoings. And so he stands before God. And I would say that the conversation goes a little, we don't hear the conversation. All that we hear is when he stands before God, God said, have you thought of anybody but Job? But I can understand the conversation. What he done, he went and looked and said, Terry is just terrible. He does this and that wrong. Brother Mike is terrible. He does this and this wrong. And Gary, he does this and this wrong. Pastor Dave, he does this and this wrong. But There ain't nobody worthy to stand before you, God. And God says, have you considered my servant Job? Wait a second, God, wait a second. I passed by Job a time or two. But you've got this hedge of protection and you won't let me get to it. If I could just get to him, if you would take your hand away from him, if you would move that rock you've got on him, the hedge of protection, then I could get in there and I could do some damage and he would turn it back on you. The only reason Job will praise you and glorify you and talk with you and walk with you, the only reason, because his life's broken. And God said, no, I didn't take it. He's in your hand. See, this paint a picture here that as long as we walk in sin, the enemy can play and use us and use us for his furtherance of his kingdom. He can do whatever he wants in our life. We give him that right. But when we walk with God, we've got a hedge of protection around us. And it takes that moment. It takes one of two things. Us either letting it in or God saying, all right, I'm going to remove my hand to show you something. To show you something. And he removes the hand, and it says that in that moment, the enemy comes down and he begins to destroy all that he has. His camel and his sheep are stolen, and his servants there, and telling him about it. Another servant comes along and says, they stole your oxen, and they've stole, and then he says another servant comes along about that time, and in that moment he says, your kids are dead. The house collapsed on them, and they're dead. In that moment, all of Job's life is falling apart. Everything that he held dear in this natural, it all falls apart. But what does he do in this moment? It says he covers himself in sackcloth and ash. He falls to the ground and he pleads to God. And in this moment, he's yearning for God, and he's calling out God. He ain't turning his back on God. He ain't got to do it. But the end, he does this. He goes back, and he stands before God again and says, David's bad. David's bad. Morgan's bad. You're bad. You're bad. You're bad. Everything's bad. And God says, have you considered my servant Job? Yes, but Lord. Job, you don't let me harm him. You ain't let me hurt Job. I just hurt his things. And when it comes to things, they're nothing to Job. But Job is important to Job. In this moment, Job is the important one. He says, let me hurt Job. Let me strike Job with a disease. Let me do something to Job. God says, I'll show you something. He's in your hands. Just don't kill him. And so he strikes him with boils. And he's in pain and he's in anguish. And he lays it. See, this is the whole thought process of the enemy. 1 Peter 5:8 tells us this. 1 Peter 5:8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Stay right there. He starts with be alert. Be alert. It means to be awake in the Greek. It means to be awake. Don't be sleeping in this moment. This is, remember when the garden where he told Peter, he said, can't you pray with me? The enemy looks to sift you as wheat. And he would want him to pray for his own protection. Peter, if you would pray with me in this hour, the enemy looks at be awake in the moment when the enemy comes along. Be awake. See, there's too many people sleeping on God's watch. There's too many people sleeping in the midst of a fight. There's too many people, when all hell's broken loose in their life, they're just laid back, just waiting for the next thing to come. Oh, it's bad. Oh, bad. It's bad. It's bad. They are not awake. There's too many in the church today that are just not awake. And I love this. John 15:15 tells us this. I no longer call you servants. I no longer call you servants. For a servant knows not what the master does. But I call you friends. He's saying, you got to understand this. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you if you just wake up and listen. If you'll have that mentality, don't be dreaming about it getting better. Just wake up and let me show you that I'll make it better. We've been talking for weeks about the prosperous journey that we're walking on in the place that He wants to take us to. So what do we got to do? We have to be awake and see that. If we're just asleep and it's always a dream, we're never going to reach a dream on. Be awake to get a hold of it. How many's had one of the dreams and you said, oh, you woke up and it was like, oh man, it was just a dream. You wanted to stay there. It was a good dream. I mean, you had a bad dream where you wanted to get up, and I'm glad I woke up. But there's a good dream where you've had, it's like, dang it, it's over. Dang it, it's over. Unless you're awake, you're never going to reach that. You got to be awake. And he says, and of sober mind. Be of sober mind. Here's the thing. Be of sober mind. Sober mind means not intoxicated or not in the act of confusion. See, the first attack the enemy always brings in is that very thing. The art of confusion. The art of making everything where it's out of sorts. Where whenever things aren't going right, it's a confusing atmosphere. And that's what he looks to do, because in confusion, what's the first thing that happens? We try to get clarity, right? We're trying to find something that just gets us out of the mess. This is what he done to Job to begin with, was create a confusing atmosphere. Not in one moment, it wasn't just like, oh, this went wrong, and it's like, oh, okay, we'll deal with that. No, this went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong. Everything went wrong. It wasn't just one thing. He just said more confusion. No, I don't want you looking to God. I want you to look at the problems and just keep looking around. How are we going to fix it? How are we going to get through this? Confusion. Confusion. It's just things that we can't be. It says be alert and be of sober mind. Cut down the confusion. Cut down the confusion. 2 Corinthians tells us, then 2 Corinthians 10 says, we demolish arguments and every pretense that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we do what? We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. What does he say about the situation? He's saying, he's telling you, you can take these thoughts that you have in your mind and you can make them captive. You can cut that off. Because that's what the enemy speaks. This is where he speaks right here. It's into your mind. That's where he's whispering in. That's why he's always sending things along and talking to you from the outside, trying to get it in here. He's saying, take that captive. See, this is the type of atmosphere he creates. Confusing, intoxicating, like you're not even awake. And then we don't know what's right and wrong. We don't know what's good and bad. We don't know what's truth and a lie. We don't know who's with us and against us. We don't know any more than anybody else. But he said, I'm going to tell you everything. I saw this the other day, a little article, and it said this. It said, if you thank God that the storm missed your house, it's just the same as writing a note to the serial killer and saying, thank you for going next door and killing them. See, because we're not understanding the way the world works. We live in a fallen world that the enemy is the prince of the air, that he has the power and authority to create storms, chaos. It's what he longs to do. And the very God that says, here, I'll put a blockade between you and it, is the same God that can let a blockade next door, the door down, and we can plead the blood and we can stand in the gap. But the moment that anybody welcomes in the enemy, it's that simple. God has no say no more. And see, all that sounds harsh to people that don't grasp the thought process of the spiritual realm and the earthly realm and how they intermingle. They don't understand how they come across. And they think, well, he's God, and he's all powerful, and he has all say, and forgetting that he give us all say and all power, and they're the ones who give it over to the enemy. I'll preach it till I'm blue in the face. Because we got to teach the world this, and they don't get it. They truly believe something just like that. The same people say that God ain't real. If he was, and why is these places full of sickness and death? Why is this? Why is there abortion in the world? Well, who makes the choices? Who gives the enemy the free rein? Who gives him that say? This is what Job was trying to protect against, was get him out. And God said, but I'm doing something through this. I'm going to show you something through this. Go back to 1 Peter 5, real quick. I'm going to bounce around a lot, so with me. And it says, your enemy, the devil, comes around like a roaring lion looking to someone to devour. If you know much about a lion, they hunt in packs. But the lion's job is they will stalk their prey. They will stalk their prey. That's the first thing they do. They very seldom will just attack something. What they do is follow and stalk it. What's the enemy doing? As excuse your brother, he's watching every move you make. Every chance he gets, he sends his little minions or himself, and he comes on because he ain't all knowing, he ain't all powerful, he ain't omnipresent, he can't be everywhere at one time. So what he does have is a lot of minions, a lot of fallen angels with him, and they all over, and they just sit outside your house, they sit outside the communities, and they just wait for us to mess up. So then he can run to God and say, God, I'm telling on it. Like the little kid. We had a little kid that just every time brother or sister does something wrong. Dyson did it. Dyson did it. We got that out of our kids pretty long. They didn't do that very long. Thank my God for that. They wait. And they wait for the perfect, opportune moment so they can pounce. See, this is why the enemy, when he stood before God, he didn't say, start off with. He didn't say, let me attack Job and we'll just get this out. Well, no. What he wanted to do is create a confusing atmosphere, a moment of where he'll break down. Because in a moment of confusion, this is what the lion does. They storm in to a group or a herd. And what they've done is try to create a confusing atmosphere in that. And as the herd breaks out, they look for the weak one. They look for the one that stumbles. Look for the one that falls. They look for the one that they can get a hold of easily. They don't want to expend a bunch of energy chasing these animals. They want to get the one that's easy and rightful taken. And so this is what the lion does. This is how the enemy works. This is why when Peter writes it, he's trying to get it across and put it in your natural thinking so we understand. And he says he's lying in wait. He's sitting there waiting to pounce. And it's in this moment right here that now he pounces on Job. He pounces on him. Because he's in a weak, vulnerable place. He's in a moment of depression, a moment of anxiety, a moment of hurt, a moment of bitterness. Come on, somebody. Because we've all been in these places. He'll do what he can. He does what he can. This is the way he gets a foothold in the door. This is what he's just trying to do. He's just trying to get him out of God's touch and into him where he can just now, he has free reign in him. Like every other person, he stood before God and said, Sam is bad, Alice is bad, everybody's bad. God said, well, this is what he's doing. Well, let me in there. Let me get in there. I'll kill him just like everybody else. I will take him out like everybody else. I'll destroy their lives like everybody else. I'll do what I can because I have come to steal, kill, and destroy. No ifs, ands, or buts. He says, if I could just get in the pack. If I can just get in there and just create this atmosphere. We've been there. And you're just waiting for it. And through this, most oftentimes the lion will try to isolate somebody, get them off by themselves, because in the midst of packs, if you've got a pack, then they will, if you've got a good pack, they'll protect you. If you're walking with the right crowd, they'll protect you. They'll lift you up. They'll edify you. They'll do what they can to lift and gird you up so that you're not beaten down, you're not broken. They'll try to draw you, hey, they're little women of God. We try to draw each other back to God. But here's the thing. If you're in a good pack, nonetheless, you're going to help fend off the wolf. You're going to help fend off the lion. You're going to help fend off any of those predators that come into the camp. But do what they can. But in these places, he looks to isolate. Looks to get you to a place that you're all alone. And when you're all alone, and it's just you and him. See, why don't you get this? You got to really understand this morning. Because the person that was supposed to be there for Job the most, as soon as this happens, as soon as the wolves come on him and he looks all happy, his best friend, his mama, his sugar mama, comes along and says, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" It's his own wife. It's supposed to be his best friend, his incompetent, the one he loves, the one that they birthed up 7 boys and 3 girls, the one that's raised his farm together, the ones that's lived together, and now all of a sudden she's coming to me and saying, "Curse God, he's the one that gave it to me. Why would I curse God?" And just die. What a lonely moment. What a lonely moment. You know what? The book of Matthew tells us, Matthew 4, after Jesus was baptized, what did he do? He went up into the wilderness. It said the Spirit led him in the wilderness to be tempted for 40 days and 40 nights. The Spirit led him. Why did the Spirit lead him? Because Jesus had to be tempted in every fashion that man would be tempted. We forget about the temptation of being alone in this moment. We forget about that. We talk about the other 3 that he tempts him with. But the temptation of being alone. So the Spirit led him just that, so that he could be tempted while being alone. While being alone. See, in these places, this is where you've got to learn that it's just me and God. It's just me and God. That's all. He's never going to leave you nor forsake you. He's never left you. He's never parted ways with you. He's always there. He is omnipresent. He's everywhere at all times. He is God. He's a spirit, and he's there. And he says, you're not alone in this. See, this is the thing. When you're alone, think about all the voices you have. Your mind runs rampant, does it not? It runs rampant. You begin to think about all those that aren't there. You begin to think about all those that hurt you along the way. You begin to think about everything that's wrong in your life. You begin to think about how much better it should be, how much better it could be, instead of saying, it is good right now. Let's get it right. See, this is the confusion. This is one of the confusion things, and I want you to get this. Go back to chapter 34, Job. Chapter 34. Let's get this verse. It says, this is talking about God. If it were his intention and he withdrew his spirit of breath, oh, come on, somebody, all humanity would perish together and mankind would return to dust. What? He said, if you're understanding, hear this and listen to what I say. He's trying to get through to some people He says, if God was looking to harm you, if God looked to do you wrong, if God has done something, then all he had to do, all he could do is withdraw his very life-giving breath and his spirit from this world, and we would all collapse where we stand, and we'd be nothing but dust. He said, if he went to hurt you, if he wanted to hurt you, he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't have to. Why make it hard on himself? Why listen to the whining, the bickering, and the fighting? How many love when their kids are in the other room just yelling at each other and fighting? I'm not telling my daughter. She brings her dog in. She comes down and visits. She brings her dog. And it runs around the house. It's just rambunctious. It's a pretty good sized dog. It is rambunctious. And all you hear is, Griffin! Griffin! My wife's laughing. She can testify.
Amen.
Every 2 seconds, the name is embedded into my head. I have dreams about the names that she just got here and says, Griffin! Griffin! You go home thinking after that. Like he wants to listen to that. But that's what he listens to his people do day after day. Whine, yell, and complain. Whine, yell, and complain. My intention to leave you alone. If it was my intention to harm you, because I'm a good God. I'm a good God. If it was done anything other than that, I just withdraw my breath. I would withdraw my spirit, and you would collapse where you are, and you would turn to what I've really created you out of. But I love you, and I care for you, so everything I do is set up for your benefit and your good. I'm sending forth a word to you today to tell you something, to show you something, to gird you up, so you can fight and learn to fight right, so you can learn to live and live to the fullness of your ability, so you can have life and life more abundantly. Because that's what I long for. That's what I come to pay the price for. That's what I desire for you. Oh, come on, somebody. He says, if I wanted anything other than that, I would not have come and died on a cross. Why waste my time? Amen. And he says, when you sit there in this alone state, and the enemy's done this, he's pushed you out there thinking you are wrong. Hey, I'm preaching to myself today because I reached that pinnacle at the end of this week. I was in that place where I felt like I was just all alone. I threw myself a little pity party like I like to do, and I just sit there and I said, no, no one cares.
And he knows
that. And here we are. We sit there, and the Lord says, no, you're not. See, I paid the price. I poured out my blood so you never have to be alone again. There's nothing that can separate me from you except for just that. When you want to. When you want to dwell with the enemy, when you want to sit with him, when you want to sit and listen to his life, he's a liar from the beginning of time. You know how he's lying? He spoke. He's a liar from the beginning. Every word that flows from his mouth may have just a minuscule of truth, and the rest is nothing but bold-faced lies. You see, Job in this moment, his very wife, turned her back on him. But he has these three friends that come along. These three friends that come along and are, their heart's right. Their heart's right. They care for Job. They really do. They're broken with him. They sit for days in silence with him. They sit with him. And then Job speaks. But these three friends that come along, they don't understand the way the world works. They don't understand God. They don't understand who he is. They don't understand how the kingdom works. And so in this moment, these three friends, as they come along, they begin to tell Job, well, you had to have sinned. You've got to be a sinner. That's the only way the enemy can do this. Otherwise, because you're talking, God is perfect and God's right, and everything God does is good. And so you have to be a sinner, because if God was going to do it, God only punishes those that are wrong. God will punish all those that don't do right. Punish all those that aren't living right. God will punish, punish, punish. You're what you call a false prophet. Matthew 7 tells us what? Watch out for the false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. What he's saying is they come to you like they got a word from God. I've got a word from God. God is good, but if you're bad, he's going to be bad to you. He's going to punish you. He's going to tear you down. See, this is what they're doing. What it was they didn't understand who God was themselves, and they come forth as spokesmen as unto God and stood before Job as encouragers, but they didn't know. And he had surrounded himself with the wrong nucleus. This is what, this is how the enemy was. He sends along those that don't know what to do with just a hint of truth, make it look like they're good for you. But the whole point is, what is a wolf's job? They're looking to kill and eat. This is what people do here. This is the moment right here. This is the moment right here. In this moment, that because they don't understand and they don't grasp God and they ain't been as blessed as Job has, then all of a sudden they said, well, then he's just as bad as we are. We're just a little better. Come on, human nature. We don't look at other people and say, oh, they must be good. They must be righteous. We look at everybody else and say, they're terrible. We try to push them down to lift ourselves up, to gird ourselves. So we look a little better in our own time. We look a little better. We got a lot more than Job got. I got a house still. My wife still talks to me. We compare ourselves and say, I'm a little better than them because God gave me this little. And they're sending forth, the enemy sent them forth as ferocious wolves because the whole job of a wolf is to eat and feast on and desire. That's all they do. They want to eat and eat and eat. And this is what he warns. He says they come to you in sheep's clothing. They say that they know God and they understand God, but they have no clue who he is. And they tell him that here he is, you're being punished because of your sin. Because of what you've done wrong. We know this. We know this. That everything God does is good. And at the end of the day, he's coming back. When he returns, he's coming back for one purpose. He is coming back with the wrath of God in hand, and is to pour out his wrath on what? On sin. Not people, not on nothing other than sin and the enemy that's orchestrated it and brought it to this world. Nothing but sin. He is not coming to destroy mankind. He come to pay the price for mankind. He's already done that on the cross. He ain't going to do it again. He said it's paid, it's bought, and it's paid for. All you got to do is receive it. Just lay your life down with me and receive it. We walk in a world where they have, Lord, you got to be careful here because there's some out there that they preach the message of if you're great and you do this and you do that and do this and do that, you're going to be great and do this and do this and nothing in you'll be prosperous and everything you do will just flourish and be great and magnificent. And then these young Christians, they come and they just serve and they serve and they serve and they put themselves out. And the first thing comes along, they get punched in the teeth by the enemy, and all of a sudden they quit. They quit because they think they've messed up. And why keep fighting this thing? I thought I've done everything right. This is Job's continued response to the word. I've done it. I didn't do nothing wrong. I know I didn't. I've done nothing but serve God, live for God. My life is all about God. I know that everything I've had has come from God. I understand that. But see, there's times that this happens. The enemy comes in And he gets in and he does some things. And he tears you down and he breaks you down. And God says, that ain't me. That ain't me. And so, here we are. Jesus, this is Jesus talking. Remember, Jesus is one saying this. He's saying, I want to be there because that's the place you're going to get the word from me. That you're going to understand who I am and what I have for you, what I desire for your life, what I've destined you for. See, in these moments, you can always tell when you got a false prophet because all they're doing is looking to destroy you. This ain't edifying or uplifting. This is what a prophet, one of the gifts is of the prophecy. Gift of prophecy is to be edifying, encouraging, and uplifting. They're not looking to tear you down in the moment. In this moment, when you're all alone, you're broken and battered and bruised. They're trying to draw you back to God and edify you and encourage you to do that. It's a telltale sign. This is why he goes on and said, you'll recognize him by the fruit. What's the fruit of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, meekness, long-suffering. On and on and on. He goes on to say, this is what they'll bring you. They're not looking to destroy you. And we read this, and most people skip through all these words because when you read the book of Job, it's a very long book. It's actually a poetry book. It's meant to kind of be sung. And it really flows in the Hebrew, but when you get into the English, it's like a lot of words and a lot of, why are they even saying that here and there? And these three individuals, they go back and forth with Job. And we reach this point in chapter 32, and a man by the name of Elihu steps up. Our scripture, I'll start preaching in a moment. Elihu, we introduced Elihu in chapter 32. And he says, I kept quiet because I'm the youngest. I kept my mouth shut because I'm the youngest one here. That was out of respect for his elders. That was out of respect for those older than him. But he says this, he goes on, I'll paraphrase, he says, but you guys have never refuted Job at all. You have done nothing to get him to understand who God is and what God desires. And he goes on, and he's the one that we just read in chapter 34 that says, listen, if he wanted to destroy mankind, he would just by simply taking the breath away. It's that simple. But he reaches chapter 35, chapter 35. And he says here, chapter 35, verse who's that?
Okay.
Then Elihu said, verse 2, do you think this is just? You say I'm right and not God. Here Job has done this. Job has stood here before his friends and said, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. God must be the one that's messed up. God's the one that's wrong. He ain't cursed God. Remember, through this sense, Job does not sin. He does not disobey or curse God. He don't do that. But he is asking that during this, he's saying, maybe God's messed up. Maybe God did something wrong. And he says, let me ask you this. What profit is for me? And what do I gain by not sinning? Verse 4. I would like to reply to you and to your friends. He's saying, Job, listen. And I want you to listen, and I want your three little buddies to listen. Remember, when Job started, he said, my three friends come to visit me. We don't even know who Elihu is at this moment. We don't know if he's a friend, or if he just followed him along, or if he was sitting over here as one of the servants and listened. We don't know. But we know this. He got tired of it, and he wanted to shut him up. He said, now, I want to reply to you guys. Now, listen, everybody here, look up the heavens and see. Gaze at the cloud so high above you. Look up. And he says, if you sin, how does that affect him? If you do wrong, how does that affect God? If you're the one that does wrong, what does that do to God? Do you think that hurts him? Do you think that harms him? Do you think that makes him any less of God? Do you think it does anything to God? Do you think you're stealing from him? No. He says, verse 6. If you sin, how does it affect him? If your sins are many, what does that do to him? Oh, the more I sin, the more I'm going to harm God. The more I do wrong, the more harm. No. The more you do, the less you do. One right, one wrong, it doesn't matter. It ain't going to affect God. It isn't going to hurt him. Verse 7 says what? It says, if you are righteous, what do you give to him? So if I live all perfect and I'm doing all right, what am I giving God? Oh, I'm bringing him a price. No, you're not. If you live perfect your whole entire life and done nothing wrong, are you really giving God something? No. You have nothing to give him. There's nothing you have to offer him. There's nothing. You can have all the money in the world. That's the problem with some of these people that sit in the church today. They think the more I give, the more God loves me. The more I give, the more I do, the more God's going to love me. The more, that's a better seat in heaven. That's the better place I can be. The more I do for God, you're not giving him nothing. You know why you tithe? You know why you tithe? So that he can multiply and bless it. You're not giving it to him. You're sowing it into ground so it can produce something to feed the flock. And so that you have something. You don't go out in your garden and say, I'm going to plant my garden and start eating seeds. And at the end of the year, where's my harvest? You ain't going to harvest because you didn't plant it. You're not giving it to the ground, you're sowing it into the ground. Hoping to yield something from it. Hoping to yield enough you got canned goods, or enough that you can bring the pastor a cucumber or two, or whatever. Somebody's with me. It says, if you're righteous, what do you get to, or what does he receive from your hand? What is he reaching out and taking out of your hand? Nothing. Nothing. In verse 8. Where I want to go. Your wickedness only affects humans like yourself. Your wickedness only affects humans like yourself. Anytime you do wrong, anytime that you do what's not right, anytime you commit sin, the only person it affects is human beings. It affects us, it affects them. It affects us and the world around us. It affects humans. When I do not do wrong, it affects me. How does it affect me? Well, number one, I give the enemy a foothold in my life. I've welcomed him in. Why? Because I've pushed God out, and when God ain't in the sequence, the enemy's in. When I do wrong, and I go along and hurt somebody, steal from somebody, I've stolen and taken from them, I've hurt them. My wickedness affects them. And your righteousness only other people. Catch that part. Your righteousness only affects other people. Your righteousness affects only other people. Why? Because when you're righteous, you're in right standing with God. And they see it. We've been talking about seeing the glory of God and why he sows into lives and why he does things in life and why he gives and he gives and he gives. It's so that he can be seen. So the world draws to him and sees him moving in this world. It's the very thing he said. So your righteousness affects other people. When you're righteous and they see the blessing and the favor of God on your life, when it does, it draws people to him. It's your righteousness that affects everybody else. If you're not in right standing, it affects everybody else. Why? Because in you live as nothing but a false prophet. Well, I'm talking to the church now. Those that say, I'm a man or woman of God, but they're not in right standing with God. They're not there to serve God. They're only about themselves. They're not there to give to God. They're only there to give to themselves. What they're doing is about themselves. They're not in right standing with God. Their heart's not right. And that affects others. It pulls them apart. It breaks them down. Our righteousness only affects other people. That's all it does. You know, when I come and preach something and I start telling somebody, don't do this, don't do that, they begin to think that God's this list of rules now. He says, this is because you're wickedness. It's because what you're doing is harming yourself or harming the people around you. This is why he sends forth his word. I saw something the other day, and it just bothers me when people do this. But it showed a shepherd out in the field, and he's out there beating the sheep. And it said, this isn't what the church is supposed to be. God is good, and he's only going to tell you good stuff. But they forget that God, the shepherd, Jesus, has something called a prod. And he prods people along. And he's trying to get them to a place so that they can touch lives, they can bless lives, they can gird people up, they can encourage people. He's trying to get them to a place that was destined for them. Where Mike's going is not where I'm going. So he's going to destine him for somewhere, and he's going to prod him and push him there. He ain't beating him. But what he is doing is when he's getting off the wayside, he's trying to get it back on track. He's sending forth his word. It's not to beat the sheep down. It's not to tell them how wrong they are and how bad they are. He's trying to tell them about his love and his mercy and says, despite all this, I'm just trying to get you on the right track. See, this is why in the book of Acts, in chapter 9, when he meets Paul on the road to Damascus, and he says, why do you prick against the goads? The goad is something that would trick them and push them along so they stay on track. You'd use to plow fields with so that they'd stay in the right road. So they wouldn't be all over it. And he says, this is all I'm doing is I'm trying to prod you to your destination. I'm trying to prod you to the place that I've created for you. I'm trying to get you to that place. I'm not trying to beat you down. It's amazing to me. When you go up to a young person and you say, you really need to abstain from doing this. Don't do this. Quit doing this. You don't do it because you don't love them. You do it because you do love them. It ain't to beat them over the head and say, you're just terrible. You're just wrong. Why do you keep messing up? To get them on the track that is destined for them so that they become the young man and woman. We do it with our kids, I hope. Sometimes, sometimes, if you're a believer like me, that you don't spare the rod. You got to pull off the belt once or twice and say, hey, listen. Not beating them. Let them know that there's something wrong. You got to be more. Tell me, this is the problem with the culture today, is they want us to just tell them and say everything's all right, and we won't say no. I want to warn you, tell you you're wrong, so that you're not off track and you're headed home. You're headed to the place that I've got for you. You can have the fullness and the riches of what I have. It's this place that he's working on Job with. He said, I've brought you to the place. This is why I let the enemy in, so that he could show him how God really was. There was too much instigation. These are his three closest friends that come along and don't know God. But in this moment, he can show them who God is. He ain't looking to punish me. He ain't looking to break me down. He's just looking to get me to the place that he can double bless me. He can multiply everything I have. And my wife and I, well, we don't hear no more about it, but they're back on the same track. Putting things back in order. Putting things back to what they are. So he can show his glory in the world. And he's in right standing. It's this place that he looks to. But we have so many people around us. You just want to tell me that God's bad and that God's going to punch me for my sin. No, he's punishing the sin. He's coming after the sin. He ain't yet. Make no mistake, the punishment you feel in this world and everything in this world is just of a fallen world. And it's all of the enemy. talk about the wrath of God. But the wrath of God, I believe in pre-trib, and I'm out of here, so I don't have to face that. But nonetheless, if you're here, you'll know that you'll know. It's going to be like no other destruction you've ever saw before. The wrath of God is not for our man because He loves me. He's done everything He can to try to set every bondage apart, to set everybody on solid ground. And He sent forth His word. Listen, I don't care how you feel. We got people, God, Lord, God help me. We've got people that believe that it's all right for homosexuals to get married in the church. We got the government telling us now. Lord, I'm in trouble here. But we've got the government telling us here they're wanting to pass a law. If we won't perform homosexual marriages, they'll do away with our 501c3. Well, you know something, it's nonetheless, we either got to stand for what's right and wrong, right? Because He said, I'm trying, because it affects you. It affects mankind. It's not about Him saying wrong, wrong, wrong. He's saying it's because it's hurting you and it ain't good for you. And I want you on the right path. I want you with me. I want you walking to that place. Look, we've all got faults. We've all got sin in our life. And the Spirit's trying to lead us through it so that we get it all and then we get closer and closer to Him. That's what He does when He comes along and the Spirit convicts our heart and says, get this out of your life. It's time to move this out of your life. Young people, get this through your head. This is why He warned you about sex and temptation. This is why He said, don't do what you do. Quit it. It's for your benefit. You're doing nothing but harming yourself and harming those around you. You say you love them, but on this next breath, you're, oh, well, if you love me, you do this for me. No, if you love them, you wouldn't be asked.
Right. That's right.
It's all for your benefit. It's all for you. He ain't saying, I'm looking to keep you out of heaven because He paid the price so you could get in heaven. He said, I paid the price and I bled the blood. All you got to do is receive that blood. That's all you've got to do. It's what I've done because I love and I care for you. I've got one thing to prod you to your destination. I had a young lady here. I met her mad a couple weeks ago. I'm usually backtelling myself. This young lady, probably you shouldn't be doing that. You haven't got anything like that. So finally, that's not an excuse, but I know that's why it is. I don't want her to end up why so many other young ladies have ended up. So, honestly, can I get really? Does it affect me if she comes or not? No. It hurts me. It hurts me because I don't want to see nobody go down that path. No. It's the whole purpose for God sending forth His word. Because He loves you. And it breaks His heart when He does. But at the same time, He's like, at the end of the day, it's not really going to affect me, it's affecting you. You as parents, you should understand this more than anybody. You as parents should understand that concept of you tell your kid it isn't so that they just look like you and talk like you, it's because you want the best for them. You want to see them flourish in life. You want to see them gird themselves up and make something of themselves. I give my son a hard time about get up and get to work. Get up and do something. Get out of your room. Why? Because I want him one day to have a work ethic that just says, I'm willing to put in the work to accomplish that what I need to get to. It ain't so that I got a reason. I hate getting on anybody. In fact, I don't even like talking most of the time. My wife gets mad at me for that. You don't shut up at church and then you come out and say, "Where's me?" Praise God. I got to wrap this up. Go ahead and get them. Say it. Go on. Job lays out, whoever the author of it, he lays out this whole thing. The way it works. The enemy has one thing, looking to destroy us. He hates us. You know why he hates us so much? Look at the definition. Look at what an angel, a seraphim, and a cherubim. Look at what they look like. But what does man look like? It says man was created in the image of what? God. So every time he looks on you and me, every time that the fallen angel, the fallen Satan, every time he looks on man, he sees God. Well, he can't destroy God. He hates God. He tried to overthrow the throne of God, and he couldn't do it. So he walks through here, and he's looking for somebody that just gets weak enough, that gets tired enough, that's ready to throw in the towel. And he says, now I can pass. I've waited, and I've waited, and I've waited. And he comes and he dangles things in front of us. And he comes and whispers things in. And then he comes. And next thing you know, he's got a whole nucleus of the world. He's got a whole nucleus of the church. He's got a whole group of people that stand and say they're living for God. And they're doing nothing but being deceptive liars. And sending out nothing but the glory of God. Everything but the opposite of the glory of God. I'll leave you with this morning. I don't know what you think of Beyonce. I have no clue. And I'm not even mad at people. But Beyonce has come out flat out and said this. And you can go back and read the articles and watch the video footage of it. She was on one of the shows and she said, I'm not an outspoken woman. I don't really like to talk about people, but when I get up and sing, I allow this spirit to come on me and sing through me. The spirit. She says it. She testifies to this. The church out in California this week opened up their doors so she could come and teach.
I think she sent the demon.
So she could come teach. We call it Beyonce Max. Beyonce Max. You don't look it up. No. I give you guys that and you can look it up yourself. To empower young women to be great. Young ladies don't know how to be great? Same way God, Job was. Fuck with God. Talk with God. Sit with God, be with God. Young man, you want to be great? Let Job model it. First few words tells you. You're going to read the book of Job, read the first 3 verses. You'll get it all right there. You want to be great? That's it.
Yes.
He empowers us. He says this, I've given you the power of the kingdom. You've heard me. I've been in this, I'm trying to get us to one place. That promise, that vision, that heart, that place that it says all of the nutrition comes, all the hard work, all the dedication, and we fully see God blossoming in the world around us. When we begin to find all these little nooky crannies at the end, he's hiding at it and just waiting and sitting, just waiting for that moment. Just yearning for that moment to just be able to devour us. To steal everything you got. We can't take one away. We don't give it up. So you live in the kingdom now. The kingdom of God is here, is what John said. When Jesus came, the kingdom of God is here. Came in their moment. You live in the kingdom. Child of the king. So stand. Robert Call, I really don't know. I really don't know.